Merciful Father, I came across a real live horror story not so long on YouTube. Scrolling as usual, came across this channel called Adventurous Living. I knew about the channel, but I also knew about like the guy that he like teams up with, Kieran Adventure. I have been subscribed to Kieran Adventure for the longest while since he just started. He used to go fishing with Zaro from the Cameron family, and Zaro introduced him in the YouTube world. And because I watch the Cameron family a lot, I decided that I would support Kieran as well. Zaro asked people to support him, and his little channel is not doing bad, but I see that Adventurous Living has a bigger support than Kieran. But let me tell you something. Both of them is some of the luckiest people that I have ever seen here on YouTube. Some of you might know about this already, as well as maybe some of you might be hearing these names for the very first time. But trust me, man, you see, when it comes to fishing videos, like camping videos, adventurous videos, cooking in the bushes, catching bird, going fishing, solo camping, solo fishing, stuff like that, I enjoy watching those videos. And I know that these guys that does the spear fishing, it's a very risky and scary job that they have, because I have seen the topics that they put up. Now when I watch the videos, I see those videos can be very scary. The ones that says fishing in murky crocodile infested water, those type of topics, I always click on them and watch them because I love the adventure, I say. But when I came across Adventurous Living not so long ago, that says that he was attacked by a 15-feet crocodile, my God, I could never imagine. So I clicked on the video. The video was close to an hour, but I watched it in full. So they were basically giving the story of what happened. The video started out when they were in a car, and he was saying how he was feeling numb, and he even showed a little scar. I didn't need to see more than that, because what I saw was graphic enough. And YouTube has this policy also where you cannot show things that are too graphic, so we have to know how to minimize showing certain things. And Lord have mercy, I couldn't wait to watch the video in full to hear the full story of what really happened. And I noticed that I wasn't subscribed to Adventurous Living, but when I heard him got to the part that says, "Thank you, Father Jesus, for saving my life," that was when I looked to see if I was subscribed, and I was not subscribed, and I clicked the subscription and turned on my bell. I know for sure, as I said, I was already subscribed to Kieran Adventures. These young men, they are brave, what they do for a living, because imagine knowing that the water has crocodile, and then on top of it, I heard one of them, when the guy said he saw the crocodile, one of them said, because it was three of them, I'm not sure who said it, one of them said, "Him not bite you, man, go closer and video him." I was like, seriously? Before them look for run out of the water from the first spotting? However, he came out and made it clear that it was not the crocodile that they saw and made mention of that bit him. He went on to tell the full story of how they got bit or attacked. They were literally like leaving, getting ready to come out of the water. I guess it was getting dark because it was after 6. And there were people on land waiting for them, a young lady with a little baby and stuff like that. And, they said it's one way in the river and one way out. So as they were heading about 20 feet away from the exit, Kieran said that he saw something floating like a log. because I also went over to Kieran's channel and saw a little video of when he said that TVJ came to interview them like a day ago, and so he was giving his story how he saw the crocodile floating like a log, and he thought it was a log, yes, so he didn't pay it any mind. But then he said, let him look again. And when he held up his head and looked, he said, no man, this is a crocodile. So it was there and then that he touched the young man, adventurous living, and say, alligator, alligator. You know, here in Jamaica, people say alligator, even though we know it's crocodile. Nothing is wrong with that. And that was when they started to swim backwards and decided that they're going to come out. But what the mistake that they said they made now was when they decided to turn their back. Kieran said by the time him looked, the crocodile's mouth was very close to his eyes, his head, and he didn't even realize that he got bit on his forehead and I think on his shoulder because of how cold that water was. And by then, I guess their heart was racing. The only thing on their mind was trying to get out of that water, trying to get away from that crocodile. Let me tell you something, that crocodile looked like he was so hungry. 3 of them he bit. He was determined to get one of those young men. I guess he was really hungry because I always hear them say they swim and they see the crocs. Like one of them said that the crocodile won't bite them. Their crocodile seems to be like peaceful, you know. So that one must have been really hungry. I wouldn't run the risk, you know. I would never run the risk of going into no river that they say lives crocodile is a crocodile habitat. Those fish would have to stay for the crocodiles. But I respect their hustle. I respect their you know, out there trying to make contents for their channel, because they do have an adventure channel and basically fishing is what they do for a living. So yes, I respect them, but guys, you have to be more mindful and be more, you know, fearful of your lives. Although you guys see, you pray, seems like you pray, you know there's a God that protects us, but come on now, if we're gonna go in the crocodile habitat and there are wild animals, wild creatures, what can we do if they're hungry and feel like they want to eat and they see what looks like food to them, you know? So Kieran said that by the time he like changed his position, the crocodile, I guess he was going after his head. He made a little bite and it caught his forehead and somehow his shoulder. And then by the time they got to the edge of the river now was when the crocodile grabbed the adventurous living right across. Remember that a crocodile mouth can open very wide, you know. So he grabbed the adventurous living right across his abdomen. So his teeth sunk in his belly, in his spine, in his hip. Just imagine the size of the mouth of that 15-feet crocodile. If he went for the head, maybe that would have been the last of him. And that crocodile seems to have been weak from maybe being hungry, because I know he was under the water full body, and that is where they have their strength. So even though the other team members were out on land hanging on to him for dear life and pulling him up, and he was asking them not to let go, begging them not to let go of him, the crocodile could have won if he wasn't that hungry, trust me. And the guy adventurous living knows about the death roll too. So if his body was underwater fully and that crocodile held him around his waist, he would have given him the death roll, and maybe that would have been the last of him, you know. So even guys, even though you lost your equipments, your GoPro cameras, maybe your spear fishing gun or whatever else you lost, just be thankful to God that your life was not lost. And I respect when I heard that both of them, Kieran and Adventure Living, said that, you know, they won't be going back in that specific river, but they never said that they're not going to go back to the river, because it is their job, it is their hustle. It's just like a fisherman that goes to sea, and dive in the sea too, or go out on a boat and throw their net, and anything can happen. A storm can come in. They can be out there in the sea as well and get a shark attack. I love the adventure, guys, but I would prefer to know that you have your life. It was so scary to watch this video this morning. So very scary. I cannot sit down and watch just about any type of video for an hour, but I never had a problem watching this video this morning, guys. Please be more careful. Remember your words and do not go back in any river that is infested with crocodile. Okay? I'm glad to know that you are alive.